Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
Pitching, batting ninth, and now our national anthem. Detroit, leading off at second base, Jake Wood. Billy Bruton in center field batting second. Al Kaline batting third, playing right field. Hitting in the cleanup spot in left field, Rocky Colavito. Norm Cash will be at first base batting fifth. Doing the catching, batting sixth, Dick Brown. The shortstop batting seventh, Chico Fernandez. Ossie Virgil is at third base batting eighth. And Frank Larry pitching and batting ninth. The umpires for today's game, Joe Linsalata calling balls and strikes, Frank Umott at first, Bob Stewart at second, and Charlie Berry over at third. We have two 10-game winners opposing each other today. Whitey Ford has won 10, lost 2. Frank Lowry has won 10, lost 4. Whitey has no decisions against Detroit this year, but Frank Lowry has defeated the Yankees twice without losing to them, and as we told you, he's won 25, lost 8 lifetime. For the Yankees, it'll be Bobby Richardson leading off. Bobby batting .237. 3 doubles, 2 triples, 1 homer, 51 runs batted in. On deck is Clete Boyer. Coaching at third for New York, Frank Crissetti, and at first, Wally Moses. Frank Strong Larry. Name Strong. It's not a nickname. He's 5'11", 185 pounds from Northport, Alabama. Here's the windup in the first pitch of the ball game. Ball on the outside as he curved Richardson. Larry making his 15th appearance of the year, all in starting assignment. There's a ground ball, base hit in the hole to left field. Bobby Richardson opens the ball game with a single to left. And it brings up Clete Boyer. Boyer, who has been leading off, but dropped to the second position. Tony Kubek, as we showed you, collided with Bob Cerv last night. He was, or had the wind knocked out of him. But last night he suffered a little aches and pains, so they put him in the hospital just for observation. He's all right. He'll miss today's game, but I believe he'll be all right for the series in Kansas City. Here's a stretch by Larry. To pitch to Boyer is bunted and fouled back, strike one. That was not a sacrifice bunt in the sense that he squared around. He tried to beat it out. Boyer batting .229, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 3 homers, and 23 runs batted in. On deck, Roger Maris. Stretch by Larry. Pitch to Boyer. Ground ball to third. Virgil coming in up with it. Goes to second base. One. Back to first. Double play. They got him. And the whole Yankee bench jumps up and Moses goes out to argue with Humont. The whole Yankee bench rose as one man. It was a close play at first. A fine double play by the Detroit infield on a slow roller. Matter of fact, a short hop to Virgil. He threw off balance, and Jake Wood at second threw off balance, but they completed the double play. 5-4 to 3. Third to second to first, and here's Roger Maris batting .237. 3 doubles, 23 homers, and 51 runs batted in. He takes the pitch outside, ball one. For Detroit, their 67th double play of the year. Maris takes a curve low. Ball 2-0. No score here in the top of the first. Mickey Mantle on deck. Larry with the full windup. Pitch to Maris outside and high, ball 3. We've showed you this before, but it's interesting because the Tiger pitchers and management feel Roger Maris more than they do any other hitter in the American League, and have done so even when he was with Kansas City. He hits very well in this spot. 3-0 pitch over, strike call. Looks like this will not be quite as large a crowd as the previous two nights. Curve high, ball 4. Maris gets a base on balls. Brings up Mickey Mantle. Mickey batting .299. 7 doubles, 2 triples, 20 homers, and 48 runs batted in. Cash holding Maris at first with 2 away. Here's a stretch by Larry. Pitch to Mickey outside, ball 1. And there'll be a lot of outside pitches to the Yankee left-hand hitters. Short porch in right field for the lefty swingers to swing at. 225 down the line, and then it doesn't go out very quickly. Straight across. Curve over, strike called, 1-1. On deck, Yogi Berra. Ball 2, 2-1. Outfield deep, around towards right on Mickey. 2 out, Roger Maris leading off first base. Larry into the set position. And then he steps back off the rubber. Quickly sets himself. The pitch to Mantle is outside. That was a quick pitch. Mick was not ready. That's kind of a tricky play that Larry has out there. He steps back off the rubber, then quickly steps back on and delivers the pitch, because the batter's normal reaction when he sees him step off the rubber is to relax. It's a legal pitch. It's called a quick pitch. 3-1 on Mickey. Here's his stretch. Steps off the rubber again. This time Mantle is set. Boy, he held the bat back that time. But Larry did not quick pitch him. Now he sets again. Pitch is a ground ball, base hit in the hole to right field. Maris will only be able to go to second as he had to stop to leap in the air to keep the ball from hitting him. So Mantle singles. That's the second hit off Larry here in the first inning. And it brings up Yogi Berra. Yogi batting .310, has 5 doubles, 11 homers, and 28 runs batted in. Mantle at first, Maris at second with 2 out. The double play sure took Larry out of a jam. He's still not completely out of it, but he'd have really been in trouble without that. All right, the infield playing deep back on the edge of the outfield grass. Around towards right on Yogi. Pitch to Yogi. Foul back, strike 1. Yogi was swinging for the fences on that first pitch. On deck is Bill Skowron. is a big ball game for both clubs. Because should Detroit defeat the Yankees, they'll go 3 full games ahead of them. But if the Yankees win, they'll only be 1 game behind Detroit. So actually it means a difference of 2 ball games for the team that wins this. Pitch to Yogi, curve high and away, 1-1. Sun shining brightly down on Tiger Stadium. Flags blowing straight out from left field to right field. So if you get one up in the air, it won't take much to hit it out of here today. 1 ball, 1 strike on Yogi. No score in the top of the first. Maris leading off second, Mantle off first. Pitch to Yogi, inside, ball 2. 2-1 on Yogi. Again, Larry sets. Comes in with a curve that's over the outside corner, strike 2. Yogi steps back and says the pitch was outside. Then he turns around, takes his customary look in the Yankee dugout. Yogi followed that ball right in the catcher's glove and thought the curve went around the plate. We're right on top of the batter here in our broadcasting booth at Tiger Field. 2-2 count on Yogi. Runners lead away. Pitch popped in the air. And Norm Cash is running in under it and makes the catch. Boy, I'll remember a similar play like that. I'll never forget when Billy Martin caught a ball almost in that same spot. Everybody else was rooted to the ground. And if Billy hadn't caught it, the Dodgers would have won that ball game. For the Yankees, in the top of the first, no runs, 2 hits. No Tiger errors, 2 men left, and the score at the end of 1/2 inning, the Yankees nothing and Detroit coming to bat.
You know, 1/1000th of an inch doesn't sound like very much, but actually dirt deposits just that thick on the lower walls of your carburetor below the throttle plate can affect the performance of your car's engine, can cause rough idling, frequent stalling, and gasoline waste. That's why every day more and more people are using Atlantic Imperial gasoline. They've found that regular use of Atlantic Imperial gets rid of these harmful deposits. And what's more, Atlantic Imperial's cleaning action keeps new deposits from forming. Use Atlantic Imperial in your car. It's the quality gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Whitey Ford out on the mound for the Yankees. He's won 10, lost 2. No decisions against Detroit this year. And lifetime against the Tigers, 9 wins, 7 defeats. Whitey's making his 16th appearance of the year, all starting assignments. This is his 3rd against Detroit. Jake Woods leads off, batting .277, 7 doubles, 6 triples, 5 homers, 27 runs batted in. And the 1-2 punch of Wood and Bruton in this series has been devastating. Every time you looked up, they were on base. Youngster from Elizabeth, New Jersey, a right-hand hitter, chokes up on the bat. Whitey Ford's first pitch, fouled at the plate, strike 1. Johnny Blanchard had a little trouble locating that foul. Landed right at his feet. And that's the last place that a catcher looks for a foul ball. The Yankees have Clete Boyer at 3rd, Jonah Maestri at short today with Kubek resting. There's a ground ball back to Whitey as he tried to check his swing. Whitey flips the scar and 1 away. That'll bring up Billy Bruton. Billy batting .260. 8 doubles, 3 triples, 4 homers, and 24 runs batted in. No score here in the bottom of the first. Bill Cavaretta is coaching at 3rd for Detroit. And over at first, Tom Ferrick. Deck is Al Kaline. Here's the windup by Whitey. Pitch to Bruton. Low and away, ball 1 as Billy bluffs a bunt. Boy away in at 3rd. Whitey's next pitch is fouled back in the upper deck, 1-1. Now for the 1-1 delivery. Side-on fastball. Bunted out, top in the air. Blanchard throws the mask away. Under it, makes the catch. Billy Bruton trying to drag a bunt. Popped it right in back of the plate. 2-away, and here's Al Kaline. Kaline batting .288, has 13 doubles, 4 triples, 7 homers, and 38 runs batted in. Al had a big night last night. 4 base hits and 5 runs batted in. 2 out now with nobody on. On deck, Rocky Colavito. Whitey's pitch to Kaline is in there. Strike call. Ford comes back with a changeup in the dirt, and it hits the umpire's shin guards after it bounced in front of home plate. 1-1. Enchilada takes a look at the ball. Okay. Whitey ready again. The 1-1 pitch. Line to left field, but right at Yogi Berra. Man, he got a hold of that one. Right at Yogi. A solid line drive. And Ford sets the Tigers down in order. In the bottom of the first inning, nothing across the score at the end of 1 full inning. The Yankees nothing and Detroit nothing. Take a look at the scoreboard. In the American League, Los Angeles is at Kansas City, and they haven't started. Baltimore at Cleveland for a pair. It's 0-0 at the end of 3.5. Barber against Perry in the first game. Minnesota is at Chicago for a doubleheader, and they haven't started as yet. Washington at Boston for a pair in the first game. It's Boston 2, Washington 1 at the end of 4. Mathias against Delot. In the National League, St. Louis at Pittsburgh for a doubleheader. In the first game, at the end of 6 innings, it's Pittsburgh 4, St. Louis 3. Simmons against Friend. Musial homered in the second for the Cardinals, and Leppert in the second for the Pirates. Milwaukee at L.A. Single game is not started. Cincinnati at Philadelphia for 2. At the end of 5.5 innings of the first game, it's Cincinnati 4, the Phillies 2. Nunn has relieved Maloney. Ferretti for the Phillies. Post and Freeze have homered for Cincinnati. Chicago at San Francisco has not started. Bill Scarron leads off for the Yankees in the top of the second. Moose batting .270. Here's Larry's pitch to Scarron. It's a drive deep to left. That ball's going to be gone. A home run for Scarron in the upper deck. And Bill Scarron reached out for an outside pitch and pulled it deep in the left center field upper deck. The Yankees jump out to a 1-0 lead. For Scarron, his 13th homer of the year and his 41st run batted in. I tell you, that ball jumped out there. Here's Johnny Blanchard, batting .254, 3 doubles, 4 homers, 13 runs batted in. On deck, Joe Maestri. Pitch to Blanchard, outside, ball 1. I bet Larry thought he made a good pitch to Scarron that time, high and away. Blanchard takes the pitch outside, ball 2. Larry's next pitch is hit deep to right field, going back at Kaline, way back. And he can't get it to home run for Blanchard. Johnny Blanchard hit the home run that just cleared the screen in the lower deck in right field. And the Yankees lead 2-0. Blanchard's 5th home of the year and his 14th run batted in as the Yankees put back-to-back homers together here in the top of the second. It brings up Joe Maestri, who has only been to bat twice this year with 1 base hit and 1 RBI, batting .500. And in batting practice, Joe hit quite a few in the upper deck in left field. Larry's pitch to Maestri. In there, strike call. As we told you, Tony Kubek spent the night in the hospital. His stomach and side were bothering him where he ran into Bob's serve. There's a swing and a miss at a sidearm curve. 0-2. Quick runs for the Yankees here in the top of the second. Curve is low. Jerry Gazelle, a right-hander, loosening up for the Tigers now. Pitch is low, 2-2. Just got the report from Bob Fischel on Tony Kubek. The X-rays proved negative, so he's going to be all right in a day or two. Now the 2-2 pitch. He checked his swing. It's ball 3. Dick Brown thought he had swung, and he's arguing with Joe Linsalata. Joe said no, he held up. So it's a full count on Maestri. Yankees leading 2-0 in the top of the second. A payoff pitch to Joe. A ground ball down the first base line. And Larry throws to first, not in time. He says that's going to be a base hit for Maestri. Larry was going to let the ball roll foul. Then when he saw it stay on the grass, he picked it up. Couldn't get rid of it. And Maestri beats it out for an infield single. And that's the 5th Yankee hit of the ball game. 2 in the first inning, 3 here in the second. And it'll bring up Whitey Ford. Whitey batting .229. 1 double, 5 runs batted in. Don't get many chances like this, said Larry. All right, Botsy Virgil moves way in at third base. Cash is holding first against Maestri. Here's a stretch by Larry. Virgil coming way in. Whitey bunts it, fouled on the first base line. Whitey knew that if he bunted towards third, they'd have a double play because Virgil was about 10 feet away from him. Whitey looking down at Crissetti, hoping he can get the hit sign because Ford can handle that bat, and with Virgil that far in, Whitey just has to stick the bat out and punch it a little bit to get it by the third baseman. 1 strike on Ford. Here's the stretch, and here comes Virgil. And Whitey does that, and he bounces it over Virgil's head down the left field line. And a base hit for Whitey Ford. That's exactly what Whitey wanted to do. Bluffed the bunt. With Virgil coming in, he just stuck his bat out. Bounced it right over Virgil's head for a single. Hit number 6 off Larry. And now Hal Woodishik, the left-hander, has joined Jerry Gazelle in the Detroit bullpen. Whitey Ford can really handle that bat. It brings up Bobby Richardson, who singled to left field in the first inning. 6 hits off Frank Larry in 1 inning plus of pitching. That's hard to believe with his record against the Yankees. Maestri at second, Ford at first. Again, the Tiger infield looking for the bunt. The pitch, why Richardson bunts down first. It's a good bunt. Cash throws to third, and it's not even close. As a matter of fact, Maestri was on third base when Cash decided to throw. Holy cow. Cash didn't have a chance in the world to get to Maestri, and all hands are safe. The bases are loaded with nobody out, and Clete Boyer the batter. It goes as a sacrifice for Bobby Richardson and a fielder's choice. Bobby does not get a base hit, but he is also not credited with a time at bat. The Yankees have the bases loaded with nobody out. They lead 2-0 as a result of 2 homers in this inning, one by Scar and one by Blanchard. Clete Boyer, who bounced into a double play in the first inning, the batter. On deck, Roger Maris. With the full windup. Pitch to Boyle, low, ball 1. Crissetti yelling in from the third base coaching box for Boyer to guard the plate. The 1-0 pitch is lined out to right field. Kaline going back. Tagging up is Maestri and Ford. Here comes the throw into third base, and Whitey goes back to second. And it's a good thing Whitey did. Maestri scores on the sacrifice fly. RBI for Boyle. The Yankees now lead 3-0. Runners at first and second. One out, and here's Roger Maris, who walked in the first inning. Kaline made a heads-up play throwing towards third, because had he thrown home, he'd have never gotten to Maestri, and Ford and Richardson would have advanced. But now there are runners at first and second with one out. Roger Maris, who leads both leagues with 23 home runs. He's had 20 homers in his last 32 ball games. Pitch to Roger. Foul going out of play down the left field line. Strike one. On deck, Mickey Mantle. Runners lead off first and second. Pitch to Maris. Ground ball. Hit down to second baseman Wood, who throws to first. He didn't get it. He beat it out. Norm Cash went over to his right to field that ball. Left first unprotected. And Jake Wood, fielding the ball, had to wait for Larry to get there. And it goes as a base hit for Maris. Man, what unusual plays in this inning. The whole Tiger defense has come apart, and yet they haven't made an error. The bases are again loaded with one out, and here's Mickey Mantle. And that's the seventh hit off Frank Larry, as the Yankees have had 5 hits in this inning, along with a sacrifice and a sacrifice fly. Mantle is the 8th man to bat in the inning, and he's got the bases full of Yankees. The windup, the pitch to Mantle, outside, ball one. They're all fathers out there, Maris, Richardson, Ford, and Mantle. They're all daddies. So this is their day, and they're taking advantage of it. And the fellow on deck got 3 boys himself, Yogi Berra. The pitch, ground foul outside of first. 1-1. I got a lovely Father's Day present today from little Scooter. His tooth, he lost his first tooth on the bottom, and he sent it to me. I'll have to put it on a chain. Wonderful present, though. All right, Larry into the windup. 1-1 pitch is hit out in the straightaway center field. Billy Bruton under it. Whitey Ford tagging up. So is Richardson. And the throw comes into third base. Ford scores. The Yankees lead 4-0. On a sacrifice fly to center field, Mantle gets an RBI. And it brings up Yogi Berra. And Wally Moses wants Yogi to take a look at that ball. Linsalata says throw it in. And Larry is arguing with Linsalata. He throws it in pretty hard, too. Yo has to catch it barehanded. Larry's mad. The Yankee bench getting on him. 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Yogi Berra, who popped to first base in the first inning, the batter. And he's the 9th Yankee to bat in this inning. Here's a stretch by Larry. The pitch to Yogi. Foul back out of play. Strike one. Richardson at second, Maris at first. 4 big runs in here in the top of the second. Pitch is over, strike 2. He flipped the fastball by Yogi. stretch. Pitch is fouled right in the Yankee dugout. There he scatters the boys, and it bounces right out. Nothing in two. 2 out, 2 on, 4 runs in. Just outside of first base as Larry came in with a sidearm curve low. But Yogi got out in front of it. Stretch by Larry. The pitch is outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ready now for the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Foul tip off the glove of the catcher, back to the screen. The curve is outside the Oak, 2-2. The 2-2 delivery. Yogi swings and hits it high in the air to short left center field. Billy Bruton is moving under it and makes the catch. So the Yankees send 9 men to the plate in the top of the second, scoring 4 runs on 5 base hits, no Detroit errors, and 2 men left. And the score at the end of an inning and a half: New York 4 and Detroit nothing.
Say, is your car a late model or a veteran of the highways? Well, whatever its year or type, believe me, it'll perform better when the carburetor's clean. And now you can clean the carburetor of your car as you drive, just by using Atlantic Imperial gasoline regularly. You see, Atlantic Imperial gasoline was especially designed to remove harmful dirt deposits that form in the carburetors of practically all cars on the lower walls around the throttle plate. Now, in time, these deposits can cause rough idling, frequent stalling, gasoline waste. But Atlantic Imperial washes them harmlessly away, generally in just a few thousand miles. I hope you'll use Atlantic Imperial in your car. It's the quality gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
At the bottom of the second, we'll pause for station identification.
1460 on your radio dial. This is WOKO Albany, New York. For the best on radio, see the complete program guide in the upstate listening section of today's Times Union. 1 Fast 3.
Rocky Colavito leads off for Detroit. Tigers trailing 4-0. Rocky batting .282. 11 doubles, 2 triples, 17 homers, 44 runs batted in. Pitch to Colavito is in there. Strike called. Came in with an overhand curveball. On deck, Norm Cash. Next pitch, slow curve. In there, strike 2 call. Nothing in 2 on Rocky. Here's the windup by Whitey. Sidearm fastball fouled back off the screen. sure has a lot of different motions and spots from where he releases the ball. Makes it rough on the hitter. All right, the windup by Whitey. Fastball hit high in the air to center field. Mickey Mantles drifting back and makes the catch. Mickey was in, and then the wind got a hold of that ball. Once the ball gets above the roof of the stadium here, a pretty good wind blowing. One away, here's Norm Cash. Cash batting .365, has 5 doubles, 2 triples, 19 homers, and 57 runs batted in. The left-hand hitter up there with 1 out, nobody on. Whitey's fastball is taken low as Cash ran up the bunt. Ball 1. On deck, Dick Brown, the catcher. Here's the 1-0 curveball. It's high, ball 2, 2-0. Ready. Comes down with a fastball that's below the knees. Ball 3, 3-0. Nothing pitch right in there. Strike call. On Cash. Here's Ford's fastball swung at and missed. Strike 2. Full count. Now the payoff pitch. Curve is in there. Strike 3. So Whitey, after falling behind 3-0, came in with 3 straight strikes to get Cash looking at the called third strike. Whitey's first strike out of the ball game. Here's Dick Brown, the catcher, batting .257. 5 doubles, 2 triples, 9 homers, and 32 runs batted in. Well, it looks like Larry's going to continue in this ball game. Nobody loosening up in the Tiger bullpen. To Brown, hit foul down the third base line, strike 1. Chico Fernandez on deck. They had 51,744 on Friday and 51,509 last night. Total of 103,253. That's the largest of the year for 2 successive ball games. Strike on Brown. Whitey's curve is just outside, 1-1. Johnny Blanchard doing the catching for the Yankees today. Here's the 1-1. Slow curve hits down the third base line. It's going to be trouble. Whitey up with it. Goes to first base. Not in time. It goes to right field. And Brown is going to go to second base, and that'll be a hit and an error. That'll be a single and an error. Whitey will get an error on the throw. That's the first hit off Ford. A little slow roller down the third base line. So the Tigers have their first base runner of the ball game. Here's Chico Fernandez. Batting .248, 8 doubles, 3 homers, 21 runs batted in. Ossie Virgil. Down at second. Stretched by Whitey. Curve is over. Strike called. Fastball low, 1-1. One ball, one strike. 4-0, the Yankees lead, bottom of the second. Here's the stretch. Curve is over, strike two. Two strikes on Chico. Stretched by Whitey. Kicks, delivers, curve. He swung and missed. He tried to check his swing, but the pitch was down in the dirt. Second strikeout for Whitey, and for Detroit in the bottom of the second. No runs, one hit, one Yankee error, one man left. Score at the end of 2 full innings, New York 4 and Detroit nothing.
You'll use Atlantic Imperial in your car. It's the quality gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
On the scoreboard, L.A. Kansas City has not started. Baltimore has just tied up Cleveland 1-1 in the top of the seventh with a homer by Gus Triandos. They're playing a doubleheader there. Minnesota-Chicago for a pair. It's 1-1 at the end of 2 of the first game. Washington at Boston for 2 games. The Senators now lead 7-3 at the end of 5.5. They're Long homered in the 5th with 1 on and Long in the 6th with 1 on. In the National League, St. Louis at Pittsburgh at the end of 8 innings is Pittsburgh 5, St. Louis 3. Musial and Leopard have homered in that ball game. Cincinnati leads Philadelphia 7-2 at the end of 7. Post and Freeze have homered for Cincinnati. Chicago at San Francisco is not started. In the top of the third, it's Bill Scarron batting. Moose homered in the upper deck and left center field in the second inning. Larry's pitch is outside, ball 1. Ground ball, fair ball over third down the left field corner. That's going to be in for a double. Colavito up with it, and Scarron is in at second with a double. Just over third base. The 8th base hit for the Yankees off Larry in the ball game. For Scarron, his 10th double of the year. Moose is having his best series of the year. That was his 6th hit and 11 times at bat here in this Detroit series. Johnny Blanchard hits the ground ball to second base, fielded by Jake Wood. His throw to Cash in time to get Blanchard. Scarron moves to third. That was a fine play by the youngster at second, going deep in the hole, clearing it with his glove. One away, brings up Jonah Maestri, who beat out an infield roller in the second inning. The Tiger infield comes in for a possible play at the plate. Gazelle, the right-hander, up again in the Detroit bullpen. Here's the windup by Larry. Pitch to Maestri, low and away, ball 1. On deck, Bobby Richardson, but due to be the next batter is Whitey Ford. Bobby, the leadoff man today. Here's Larry's windup. The pitch is swung at and missed. Strike 1, 1-1. Joe went after an outside curveball. Steps back, gets a little dirt. Scarron leading off third. Here's the windup. Pitch is foul to the right of the plate, strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes on Maestri. gets up ahead of the plate a little bit more now. He just wants to get a piece of that ball. Larry bluffs the throw to third. Standing off the rubber, though. Here's the windup. Pitch is fouled on the right field line and going back in the upper deck out of play. A fan trying to make a lunging backhand catch. Landed a couple of rows back, rubbing his back now. He didn't get it, by the way. One ball, 2 strikes on to Maestri. Here's the windup. Pitch, low and away, gets away from Dick Brown, but Skowron had started back towards third and then couldn't come in. That's always a tough play. If the runner is still leaning towards home, he could make it. But once you take one step back to third and then try to reverse yourself, you're in trouble. 2-2 on to Maestri. Ball only rolled back about 10 feet. One ball, 2 strikes on to Maestri. Here's the windup. Pitch, low and away, gets away from Dick Brown, but Skowron had started back towards third and then couldn't come in. That's always a tough play. If the runner is still leaning towards home, he could make it. But once you take one step back to third and then try to reverse yourself, you're in trouble. 2-2 on to Maestri. Ball only rolled back about 10 feet. So he'd have had to get a good jump off third base to make that one. Two and two on to Maestri. The windup. The pitch. Ground ball. Base hit to center field with a drawn-up infield. Skowron scores. The Yankees lead 5-0, and here comes Bob Sheffing, and that's all for Frank Larry. Jonah Maestri gets the 9th hit off Larry in just 2 1/3 innings. Larry walked one man, didn't strike out anybody, and has allowed 5 runs. Man, this is quite a day for the Yankees. Anytime they can knock Larry out of there, they've really done something. Jerry Gazelle is coming in. Maestri now is 3 for 4 after .750 batting average. Joe has played very little since joining the Yankees, but he's been a valuable man. Every time that he's been put in the ballgame, he's done something to help the Yankee cause. Almost retired at the end of last year, but was talked back into coming to the Yankees. Jerry Gazelle, who had a promising future with the Boston Red Sox when he first joined them, suddenly lost his stuff and his control and had trouble winning. Went to Los Angeles and now with the Detroit Tigers. He's one of the top hitting pitchers in baseball. Will be facing Whitey Ford. And Hal Woodashik, the left-hander, is now up in the Tiger bullpen. There's 1 out. 1 run in. New York leads 5-0 in the top of the third. Whitey Ford, who bounced a single over the third baseman's head as Virgil came in expecting a bunt. Whitey has scored once. Holding first against the Maestri. Virgil is still in at third. Here's the stretch. Pitch to Whitey. Takes it outside. Ball 1. In the stretch. Throw to first, and the Maestri is back. Whitey. A fly ball to left center field. Colavito going to his left. He's under it. Rocky makes the catch. That's two-way. Brings up Bobby Richardson, who singled and sacrificed. Bobby 1 for 1. To Maestri leading off first. Pitch to Richardson. Low. Nice play by Dick Brown. That ball hit in front of the plate. Scooped it up. It's to Sale, a wild pitch. Quick throw to first, and Maestri back. Again, Gazelle set. Pitch is high. Ball 2, 2-0. Here's a stretch. Pitch to Bobby is in there. Strike call. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nothing. New York leading here in the top of the third. Pitch to Bobby, hit in the air to right field. Al Kaline moving under it. Holds it in for the third out. For New York, in the top of the third, they come up with 1 run on 2 base hits. No Detroit errors. 1 man left. Score at the end of 2.5 innings. New York 5, Detroit nothing.
If your car had a glass carburetor, you could see Atlantic Imperial gasoline washing away the harmful dirt deposits that build up on the carburetor's lower walls. But since you can't see your carburetor work, we're going to do the next best thing and invite you to take Atlantic's clean carburetor test. Find out now just how good this fine gasoline really is. Here's how the test works. Use 100 gallons of Atlantic Imperial. Ask for a receipt with each purchase. Then, if you're not satisfied that you're getting better performance from your car, just mail the receipts to the Atlantic Refining Company. We'll refund the average difference in cost between 100 gallons of Atlantic Imperial and the same amount of regular gasoline. Try Atlantic Imperial. It cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Virgil leads off for Detroit here in the bottom of the third. New York leads 5-0. Virgil batting 188. Has 1 homer, 1 run batted in. He's only been up 16 times. Pitch to Virgil is high, ball 1. Whitey's fastball is low. Ball 2, 2-0. Fastball over, strike call. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Virgil. It's in there, strike 2, 2-2. Whitey Ford mixing up his speed beautifully today. Throws a medium fastball and then zips in a buzzer and got these batters all off stride. The 2-2 curveball is outside, ball 3. Full count. The payoff pitch. Curve swung at and missed, strike 3. Whitey curved him on a 3-2 count. That's the third strikeout for Ford. And and Jerry Gazelle is coming up. Gazelle batting .462. He's 6 for 13. As we told you, he's one of the top hitting pitchers in baseball. And he takes a healthy cut. Pitch to Gazelle, curve low, ball one. Terry has 2 doubles and 1 homer this year. 2 runs batted in. He's a Brooklyn boy, by the way. Curve over, strike one, 1-1. 1 out, nobody on. On deck, Jake Wood. If the Yankees can keep Wood and Bruton off the base paths, they're in good shape. Those 2 guys are a lot of trouble. Curve swung it and missed, strike 2. Boy, Whitey's getting that curve to the right-hand hitters right in on their fist. And even if they do hit it, they won't get the good part of the bat on the ball. Slow curve, and he pulled him, and he was way out in front, striking out. A beautiful pitch by Whitey after serving up 2 fast curveballs. He came in with a change-up curve. Whitey's 4th strikeout. And here's Jake Wood, who hit back to the box in the first inning. Pitch to Jake inside, ball 1. Billy Bruton on deck. Fastball inside, ball 2, 2-0. Whitey's 2-0 pitch, low inside, ball 3. Nothing on the Tiger leadoff hitter. Mantle doing a little stretching exercises out in the outfield. Now the pitch. He takes it, ball 4. And that's the first base on balls given up by Whitey. Tiger fans cheer. They've only had one other base runner, and that was Dick Brown in the second inning. Beat out a slow roller. For the box, here's Billy Bruton, who, in attempting the bunt, fouled out to the catcher. 2 outs. Skowron holds first against Jake Wood. Skowron looking in the Yankee dugout to see if he could play halfway or hold Wood on, and he's holding him on. Pitch to Bruton. Low, ball 1. Just below the knee. Fans yelling for Jake Wood to steal, but they're 5 runs behind. He's not going to go. There's a strike on the inside corner. 1-1. By Whitey. Curve hit on the ground at second base. Right at Richardson. Bobby to Skowron for the out. For Detroit in the bottom of the third inning. No runs, no hits, no Yankee errors. 1 man left. The score at the end of 3 full innings. The Yankees 5, Detroit nothing, as we pause for station identification. Scoreboard, Los Angeles at Kansas City. Duran against Bass, just getting started. Baltimore at Cleveland for a pair. In the first game, it's 1-1 at the end of 7. Barber against Perry. Triando's home in the 7th to tie it up. Minnesota at Chicago for 2. In the first game, it's 1-1 at the end of 3. Cueto against McLish. New pitcher for Minnesota. Cueto. Washington at Boston at the end of 7. It's Washington 7, Boston 5. Dale Long homered in the 5th with 1 on. And Pete Daly in the 6th with 1 on. Before I had said that Long had 2 homers in the game. He had 1 done. Button homered in the 6th for the Red Sox. Pittsburgh beat St. Louis in the first of two, 5-3. Friend the winner, Simmons the loser, Musial and Leopard homers. Milwaukee at L.A. hasn't started. Cincinnati leads Philadelphia 7-2 at the end of 8.5. Nunn relieved Maloney in the second for Cincinnati. Ferretti started, Green in the seventh. Post homered in the fourth with 2 on, and Freese in the sixth with nobody on. Chicago at San Francisco has not started. George Edward Thomas has gone out to play shortstop for the Detroit Tigers in place of Chico Fernandez. And he will bat in the 7th spot in the lineup. He's 6'3" and 190 pounds, a big boy for a shortstop. His cleat boy hit into a double play and then hit a sacrifice fly. Pops up to the shortstop in short left field. Thomas flips the glasses down under it and makes the catch. So the youngster gets a chance on his first play. And the hand the fans give him lead us to believe he might be a local boy, but he was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I'm wrong there. Attended the University of Minnesota. He's a bonus player. Last year with Denver and Birmingham, batted .283. Had 13 homers and 81 runs batted in, though. Here's Roger Maris. Walked and single, takes a pitch low, ball 1. Jerry Gazelle out on the mound in relief of Frank Larry. Lined up by Gazelle. The pitch is fouled back off the screen. 1-1. Mickey Mantle. Gazelle goes to the rosin bag. Maris smoothing out the dirt in the batter's box. Now they're both ready. Here's the windup by Gazelle. The curve is inside. Ball 2, 2-1. Has taught Gazelle a new windup. He used to have a real herky-jerky windup. Fastball hit on the ground at first base. Cashes up with it. Flips to Gazelle, covering in time to retire. Maris does 2 away. And here's Mickey Mantle. Mickey single to right and hit a sacrifice fly to center. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI. Detroit nothing in the top of the 4th. Pitch to Mickey, high inside, ball 1. On deck, Yogi Berra. Next pitch is a curve, low outside, ball 2, 2-0. The 2-0 pitch, curve outside, ball 3, 3-0. Nothing pitch to Mickey. He takes it for a strike. 3-1. The 3-1 delivery. Swing and a ground foul down the first base line. Picked up by Wally Moses. 3-2 on Mantle. Count now on Mickey. Thomas, who went in as shortstop, has played most of his professional ball in the outfield. He has had limited service at shortstop in the minor leagues. This is his first appearance in a major league game as a shortstop. And I bet he feels lost out there, too. Playing Mantle almost in back of second. The payoff pitch to Mickey, hit on the ground at first base. Cash up with it. Flips to Gazelle, and he drops the ball. Gazelle so sure that he had it. Tried to grab it one-handed and dropped it, and that'll be an error charged to Gazelle. Mantle made a beautiful punt out of his helmet as he took it off. Kicked it right into the Yankee dugout. Mick was quite a football player in high school. Up Yogi Berra. Yogi's 0 for 2 today. Popped to first, fly to center. And now Thomas wants to talk with Jake Wood, possibly on who's going to cover if they steal. As we told you, this is the youngster's first experience in the big leagues as a shortstop. Mantle at first with 2 away, and New York leading 5-0. Here's the stretch. Quick throw to first. Mickey's back. And the pitch to Yogi is outside. Ball 1. Again, Cassell sets. Pitch is over. Strike called. 1-1. Yankees got all 9 hits and 5 runs off Frank Larry. Larry lasted just 2 in the 3rd inning. On deck, Bill Skowron. All right, Mickey leading off first. Quick throw over there, and Mantle's back again. Another throw over there, and Mantle's back. Mantle is not taking too big a lead either. Gazelle goes back to the rosin bag. Here's his stretch. Pitch to Yogi, low and away. Ball 2, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Curve foul back of the plate. 2-2. Outside of the first night when it was a little chilly here in Detroit, last night and today have been beautiful. 2 on Yogi, 2 out. Mantle at first base. Here's his stretch. Pitch to Yogi, a foul back on the screen. Gazelle sets. Curve in the dirt. Full count on Yogi. 3-2. Now Mantle will be running with 3-2 on Yogi and 2 out. Here's the stretch. There goes Mantle. The curve is high. Ball 4. He lost him. First walk given up by Gazelle. Mantle at second, Barrett first. Here's Skowron, who homered and doubled, driven in a run, scored twice. Moose has had 6 hits and 11 at-bats here in this series. 2 of those 6 hits homers. And he's got 4 RBIs. On deck, Johnny Blanchard. Gazelle stretches. Checks Mantle leading off second. Pitch to Scarron. Popped in the air in short right center field. Jake Wood going back. K-line in, and K-line makes the catch and just misses colliding with Jake Wood. Wood would not have been able to catch up with that ball, but K-line, seeing Wood in trouble, came charging in and made the play. For the Yankees, in the top of the 4th, no runs, no hits, 1 Detroit error, 2 men left. And the score at the end of 3 1/2 innings, the Yankees 5 and Detroit nothing.
You know, it figures that most things are at their best when they're clean. The carburetor of your car is no exception. Dirt particles that get past your engine's air cleaner form deposits on the lower carburetor wall. Deposits that can cause rough idling, frequent stalling, actual gasoline waste. But you can clean your carburetor as you drive, just by using Atlantic Imperial gasoline. Atlantic Imperial dissolves these harmful dirt deposits, and continued use keeps new deposits from forming. Use Atlantic Imperial in your car. It's the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean.
Inning, it'll be Al Kaline, Rocky Colavito, and Norm Cash. The power in the Detroit lineup. Kaline lined to left field in the 1st inning. Yankees 5 and Detroit nothing in this 3rd and final game of the 3-game series. Detroit taking the first 2. New York scored 4 runs in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd. Here's Whitey's pitch to K-line. The curve in there, strike call. One strike pitch. Another curve line to left field. And dropping in there for a base hit. Yogi has to play it on one hop. And K-line hit a sinker that time. It looked like it was going to carry the Yogi, and suddenly it dropped right down. That's the second base hit off for it. Brings up Rocky Colavito, fly to center field in the 2nd inning. By Whitey. Pitch to Rocky. Low, ball 1. Colavito asks Lincilotto to look at the ball. Joe finds it okay. Next pitch is a strike as Rocky started to swing, held up, but the pitch had part of the plate. 1-1. Points the bat out at Whitey. K-line leads off first. Curveball is low, ball 2. 2-1. Again, Whitey set. Fastball low, ball 3. 3-1. to the 3-1 delivery. Fastball low, ball 4. He lost him. Kaline moves to second. Colavito to first. Nobody out. Here's Norm Cash, who was called out on strikes in the second inning. Johnny Blanchard walks out to the mound to give the ball to Ford. And Jim Coates is running out of the Yankee dugout down towards the bullpen. He is not loosening up, but he's going out there in the event that they might need somebody. And yes, he is going to loosen up. Tells Jim Hegan, getting orders from Ralph Houk. And Coates. Jim Coates is loosening up. Pitch to Cash in the dirt. Ball 1. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Detroit trailing 5-0. Here's Whitey's set position. The pitch is hit high in the air to right field. Maris has got rain, though. He's back by the screen under it. Makes the catch. Kaline tags, moves to third base after the catch. And Cash barely missed getting that ball on the solid part of the bat. Would have made this a 5-3 ball game. Colavito held it first. Kaline is at third with 1 out. And here's Dick Brown, who beat out a slow roller to the mound in the second inning. On deck, George Thomas. Whitey snaps a throw over to Skowron, but Colavito's back. Whitey stretches. Curve lined right at the Maestri to throw to first. Double play, and Whitey gets out of the inning. Dick Brown hit a low liner right at the Maestri, and Colavito had started towards second, couldn't get back in time. So for Detroit in the bottom of the fourth, no runs, 1 hit, no Yankee errors, 1 man left, and the score at the end of 4 full innings. The Yankees have 5 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. Detroit, no runs, 2 hits and 1 error. Right now, I'd like to mention that the second half of this game is being brought to you by the crisp refresher Ballantine beer. Your first swallow and every one to follow tells you why over 5 million glasses of Ballantine beer are enjoyed each day. On the scoreboard in the American League, the Angels failed to score on the top of the first. Kansas City batting. Duran against Bass. It's the bottom of the 9th out in Cleveland. Baltimore won and Cleveland won. The Indians batting Barber against Perry. Triando's homered in the 7th. Minnesota at Chicago. It's 1-1 at the end of 4.5. Cueto against McLeish. Washington leads Boston 7-5 at the end of 8 innings. Mathias against Wills. Dale Long homered in the 5th with 1 on. Pete Daly in the 6th with 1 on for the Senators. Don Budden in the 6th with nobody on for the Red Sox. Pirates beat the Cardinals in the first of 2, 5-3. Friend the winner, Simmons the loser. Musial and Leppert homered. Second game, it's Jackson against Gibbons. Milwaukee at L.A. hasn't started, nor has Chicago at San Francisco. But the Reds beat the Phillies 7-2 in the first game. None in relief the winner. Ferretti started the loser. Wally Post had a 2-run homer in the 4th inning. And Gene Freese in the 6th with nobody on. Top of the 5th, it'll be the bottom third of the Yankee order. Blanchard, Maestri, and Ford to face Jerry Castell. Blanchard homered in the 2nd inning, bounced to 2nd in the 3rd. New York leads 5-0. Pitch to Blanchard outside, ball 1. Castell's next pitch is foul tipped and held by the catcher, strike 1. Blanchard. Ground ball, base hit to right field. Wood just couldn't get to it. And Blanchard has his second base hit of the ball game. That's the first hit off Gazelle and the 10th hit for the Yankees. Brings up Jonah Maestri, who's 2 for 2. Scored once and driven in a run, both singles. In the first time at bat, Maestri beat out a slow roller down the first base line. And in the third inning, he singled up the middle. Blanchard leads off first. Pitcher to Maestri, fouled to the left of the plate, strike one. He chokes up in the bat a little bit. Gazelle's pitch is hit slowly down the third base line. Virgil's going to have to hustle. His throw, not in time, it goes down the right field line. Maestri goes back, touches first, goes to second, and sending Blanchard all the way in. And Maestri holds at second base. As the throw comes in to third base, Blanchard scored all the way from first base on a slow roller down the third base line. It's a base hit for Maestri, his third of the day, and his second infield hit. And also an error charged to Ossie Virgil on his low throw that went all the way down the right field line. So the Yankees now lead 6-0. Maestri is hitting those tantalizing slow ground balls, one down the first base line, one down the third base line, which are tough plays for the infielders. Here's Whitey Ford, singled and fly to left. Whitey scored once. Stretch by Gazelle. Pitch to Whitey. He takes it for a ball. He was ready to bunt. So Maestri is getting a pretty good workout in his first start this year in a ball game. He's taken over for Tony Kubek, who has bruised an abdominal muscle. Not serious, though. Be back in a couple of days. Whitey bunts right back to Gazelle. He fires to second. Double play. Whitey attempting a sacrifice. Hit a line drive bunt right back to the pitcher. And Maestri never had a chance to get back as Gazelle whirled around through to Thomas is short for the double play. So, 2 quick outs. Here's Bobby Richardson. Single sacrifice fly to right. Pitch to Richardson, low inside, ball one. Clete Boyer. Gazelle's next pitch is popped in the air. Ossie Virgil, the third baseman, is moving under it near the pitcher's box and makes the catch. But the Yankees managed to pick up another run on 2 base hits and 1 Detroit error. Nobody left. The score at the end of 4.5 innings, New York 6 and Detroit nothing.
The crisp refresher, precisely right. Lively, golden, crystally clear. The crisp refresher. Valentine, Valentine. Valentine, Valentine, dear. Everybody clap your hands, tap your feet. Snap your fingers. And that's the man for Valentine. The crisp refresher. Valentine, Valentine. Sing it again, oh Valentine, Valentine. Crisp refresher.
Since 1840,
America's finest.
George Thomas, the youngster who went in to play shortstop, leads off for Detroit here in the bottom of the fifth. Thomas has been up 4 times this year without a base hit. He scored twice. 6 feet 3 inches tall, a right-hand hitter. Yankees 6, Detroit nothing. Pitch to Thomas, in there, strike call. Deep in the box. Whitey's slow curve is outside. 1-1. Boy, he's a big fellow. Big shoulders. The 1-1 pitch. He tried to check his swing and fouled it off. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right-hander. Slow curve fouled over in the Tiger dugout. Now holds at 1 ball, 2 strikes. All right, Whitey into the windup. Curve low, strike 3. He went after a bad pitch. Whiting chalks up his 5th strikeout. Al Woodachik, a left-hander, now joins Bruce in the bullpen. Here's Ossie Virgil, who struck out in the 3rd inning. Pitch to Virgil, foul down the right field line, strike 1. Back in the upper deck. Cleveland has come up with a run in the bottom of the 9th to defeat Baltimore 2-1. Real pitcher's battle between Steve Barber and Jim Perry. Perry the victor. So if Cleveland wins and the Yankees beat Detroit, there'll be a flat-footed tie for first place between Detroit and Cleveland, and the Yankees will be 1 game behind both of them, which will be a pretty good spot as New York goes to Kansas City for 4 games. Minnesota 3 and Los Angeles 3. 1 strike, curveball fouled back in the upper deck. 0-2. Two-strike pitch, curve low, he swings and misses. Boy, Whitey has got that curveball breaking down around the shoe tops and in on them, and they're all going for it. That's their 6th strikeout. And let's see. No, Jerry Covell is going to come up and bat for himself. Covell struck out in the 3rd inning. Whitey struck out 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, and 2 here in the 5th. Whitey's first pitch to Covell is a low, ball 1. On deck, Jake Woods. Whitey's fastball is in there, strike call. Whitey's first pitch to Covell is a low, ball 1. On deck, Jake Woods. Whitey's fastball is in there, strike call. tennis windup. The curve and strike call right around the letters. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curve, he swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. Blanchett picks it up and tags Gazelle. And Whitey 4 strikes out the side here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 7 strikeouts for Whitey, nothing across for Detroit in the bottom of the 5th, and the score at the end of 5 full innings, New York 6, Detroit nothing, and we pause for station identification.
1460 on your radio dial. This is WOKO Albany, New York. The upstate living section of today's Times Union will give you a complete program guide to the best on radio. The time is 3 minutes before 4.
As we told you in that Baltimore-Cleveland game, the Indians defeated Baltimore 2-1. Both pitchers pitched 5 hitters. Barber for Baltimore, Perry for Cleveland. Triandos had the only home in that ball game in the 7th inning. Los Angeles failed to score on the top of the 1st. Kansas City batting. Kansas City came up with 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning and lead Los Angeles 2-0. Minnesota won, White Sox won at the end of 5. Cueto against McLish. Washington came up with 5 in the top of the 9th to lead 12-5, playing the bottom of the 9th. Mathias against Wills. Willie Tasby homered in the 9th with the bases full. Dale Long homered with a man on, and Pete Daly with a man on. Don Button had one with nobody on for the Red Sox. Pirates beat the Cardinals 5-3. Friend the winner, Simmons the loser. Musial and Leopard homered. Second game is Jackson against Gibbons. Milwaukee at L.A. and Chicago at San Francisco is not started. Cincinnati won the first game of a doubleheader over the Phillies. 7-2, none the winner for Rusty the loser. Post and Freeze homered. Post with 2 on. Clete Boyer leads off for the Yankees in the top of the 6th. Boyer hit into a double play. Hit a sacrifice fly to right field and popped to short. DeSale's first pitch is a curve in there, strike call. Yankees 6, Detroit nothing. Another curve. This one's inside, 1-1. Curve, swung it and missed, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch is a ground ball up the middle, a base hit. Boyer reached out for an outside fastball. He's going to try for 2, then he holds up. Burden was a little slow in picking the ball up, and Boyer went almost halfway to second, then turned around and came back. Third hit off Gazelle. 12th Yankee hit of the ball game. Here's Roger Maris. Walked, singled, and bounced to first. Nobody out. Pitch to Roger is a foul tip back on the screen. Strike 1. Hit foul outside of first. Strike 2. Norm Cash backhanded the ball in foul territory, and the fans give him a hand, and Cash hits his cap. Gazelle. Pitch is popped in the air to the infield. Jake Wood, the second baseman, calling for it. He's under it, and then backs up to make the catch. 1 away. Brings up Mickey Mantle. Mickey singled, hit a sacrifice fly to center, and reached on an error. 1 for 2. there to this ball game in Kansas City. Mickey takes a pitch on the inside corner, strike one, 1-1. Time out to knock a bug off his uniform shirt. 1-1 on Mickey, 1 out. Boyer at first. Pitch to Mantle is outside. Ball 2. 2-1. Everybody in the Yankee batting order has a base hit except the next man on deck, Yogi Berra. Pitch to Mick is low, and he checked his swing in time. 3-1 on Mickey. Jerry Gazelle, who relieved Frank Larry in the third inning, out on the mound for Detroit. The Yankees having one of their infrequent good days against Detroit with Larry pitching. The pitch to Mantle is a strike as he curved him on a 3-1 pitch toward the outside corner. Boyer looking at Frank Crissetti. He's going to be running with the 3-2 count. Only 1 out. New York leads 6-0. Top of the 6th. All right, Boyle leading away at first. Here's the stretch. He doesn't go. The ball is hit high in the air to center field. Bruton and Kaline converging, and look out, and Bruton makes the catch with Kaline kneeling right alongside of him. And here's Yogi Berra. Yogi popped the first fly to center and walked. On deck, Bill Scarlin. Gazelle stretch. Pitch to Yogi. Right. Curveball above the knees. All right, Gazelle stretch. Pitch outside, 1-1. Go to first base, Boyer bats. The count. The pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Yogi steps back and said, "Is that a strike?" Joe Linsalata said, "Yes, it is." 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch is hit to deep center field, way back there. Bruton going back, way back, and makes the catch way back at the 415-foot sign. All Yogi had to do was pull that a little bit. He hit it to the deepest part of the park. So for the Yankees in the top of the 6th, no runs, 1 hit. No Detroit errors, 1 man. Let's score at the end of 5.5. Yankees 6, Detroit nothing.
The crisp refreshers, ice and light.
With true love.
harder flavor, precisely right. The crispy fresher, precisely right. Lively golden, the crispy clear. The crispy fresher, Valentine dear.
With your first swallow and every one to follow, today's Valentine delivers a sunny, mellow taste that really refreshes. Since people know quality when they taste it, over 5 million glasses of Valentine beer are enjoyed every day.
So clap your hands, tap your feet, snap your fingers. Find out the man for Valentine. The crispy fresher, Valentine dear.
Since 1840,
American finest.
In the bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be the top of the Detroit batting order for their third look at Whitey Ford. Jake Wood, Billy Bruton, and Al Kaline. Wood hit back to the box and walked. Pitch to Wood. Curve low, ball 1. Fastball in there, strike called, 1-1. Fastball in there, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wood has taken 2 fastballs on the inside part of the plate. Whitey struck out the side last inning. He has 7 strikeouts. The pitch, strike 3, and that's 4 consecutive strikeouts for Whitey. And I'm telling you, he's striking out these right-hand hitters with that curveball low and inside. And that's as tough a pitch to hit as any. Here's Billy Bruton. Foul to the catcher, bounce to second. On deck, Al Kaline. Takes the curve over, strike call. One strike pitch, swung it and missed, strike 2. Pitch, strike 3 called. 5 consecutive strikeouts for Whitey Ford. His 9th of the ball game. Whitey Ford's 9th strikeout is a high for any Yankee pitcher this year for strikeouts in one game. Of them have been in a row. Al Kaline, the batter, takes the curve inside, ball 1. Kaline has one of the 2 base hits that Detroit has against Whitey. He lined a left in the first inning and singled a left in the fourth. 2 out, nobody on. 6-0 New York lead. Fastball over, strike 1, 1-1. Fastball inside, ball 2. 2 more. On deck, Rocky Colavito. Pitch, curve, hitting the ground is short. The Maestri up with it. The throw to first in time for the out. Whitey sets the Tigers down in order in the bottom of the 6th, 0 across. And the score at the end of 6 full innings. New York 6 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. Detroit no runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. On the the scoreboard in the American League. Kansas City 2, Los Angeles nothing at the end of an inning and a half. Duran against Bass. Cleveland defeated Baltimore in the first of 2-1. Perry the winner, Barber the loser. Triando's homers. In the second game, it's Fisher for Baltimore, Bell for Cleveland. Minnesota 2, the White Sox won at the end of 5 1/2. Cueto against McLeish. They're playing a pair. In the first of 2, it's Washington 12 and Boston 5 playing the bottom of the ninth. Sisler against Wills. Dale Long, Pete Daly, and Willie Tasby have homered. Tasby's with the bases loaded in the ninth. John Button had one for the Red Sox. Pittsburgh beat St. Louis 5-3 in the National League. Friend the winner, Simmons the loser. Musial and Muppet homered. Second game, nothing at the end of 2. Jackson against Gibbons. Milwaukee at L.A., Chicago at San Francisco hasn't started. Cincinnati defeated Philadelphia 7-2 in the first game. None the winner, Ferretti the loser. Post and Freeze homered. Second game, it's O'Toole against Short. And now Mel Allen will be coming over to carry you the rest of the way on radio. And we'll be seeing you later on.
First of the seventh, and the batter is Moose Skowron. 2 for 3. Jerry Casale's pitch is outside, ball 1. Skowron homered, doubled, and flied to right. Next pitch is swung on and line foul down the left field line. Strike 1, 1-1. Delivery swung on and missed. A 1-2 count on Skowron. Bill hitting .272. 6-0 New York in the 7th inning. Jerry Casale goes into the windup. In comes the pitch. Curveball fouled off. Back to third, out of play. Two strikes. Casale goes to the windup. Round comes the right arm. The pitch is swung on as a looping fly ball into short center. Coming on fast is Bruton. He's under it and has it. One away in the 7th inning. Casale has given up just 3 hits since he relieved Larry in the 3rd inning with 1 out. Johnny Blanchard homered, grounded to second, single to right, 2 for 3. And the pitch outside, ball 1. Goes to work, and it's cut on. Foul back by Johnny. A 1-1 count. One out the 7th inning. Nobody on. Blanchard at bat. The Maestri on deck. The 1-1 pitch on the way to Blanchard is low. Ball 2.
balls, one strike. Gazelle into the windup. Here's the pitch, and Blanchard swings and fouls it back behind the plate. A 2-2 count on Johnny. Two strikes. Gazelle comes in with the pitch, and Blanchard takes it low. Ball 3. 3-2. John's sporting a big cue. Several of the Yankees start chewing lately. The 3-2 pitch swung on. There's a high fly ball into right. Kaline getting back to the stands. The ball is going, gone into the upper deck. Blanchard getting his second homer of the game to make it 7-0 New York. Blanchard's sixth homer of the season. Third homer of the game. Scarron, Blanchard 2. Jonah Maestri has had 3 for 3, 2 infield hits, and in between a single to center. 1 run batted in. Jerry Gazelle into the windup, and the pitch to Maestri is a fastball just below the shoulders over the heart of the plate. 0-1. Next pitch. Look out. Maestri had to back away from that one. 1-1. One ball, one strike. In comes the pitch to Joe. Swings and fouls it back. A 1-2 count. Up, and the 1-2 pitch is a curve low outside 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the 2-2 pitch. Maestri swings and fouls it off behind the plate, out of play. Count remains 2-2. Count. Gazelle to the windup, and the pitch swung on it, missed. Strike 3. Maestri strikes out. First strikeout recorded by Gazelle, and now Whitey Ford is coming up. Whitey's not yet emerged from the dugout. Looking for a bat. Here he comes. No, he's looking for his helmet. Whitey had an infield hit, slide to left center, and bunted into a double play. Is low pitch is swung on, looped out over short into short center. Coming on is Bruton, makes the catch, and the side is retired. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on. Blanchard's homer. And at the end of 6.5 innings, it's New York 7, Detroit nothing. Tiger fans taking their 7th inning stretch. There are thousands of them here. The crowd's not quite as big as the first 2 nights when they had better than 51,000 for each game. But even that figure pales beside the figure which we tell you about. And that is that more than 5 million glasses of Ballantine beer are enjoyed every day. The figure is 5,435,616 to be exact. Quite a tribute to the brewers of Ballantine beer because this is public acceptance of product quality on a tremendous scale. People know quality when they taste it. And that's why over 5 million glasses of the crisp refresher are enjoyed every day. Ballantine has everything you want in beer. It's light, refreshingly light, with all the good lager beer flavor you want. And that's why we call Ballantine beer the crisp refresher. And how about you? Have you asked the man for Ballantine beer lately? Join all the millions of folks from the Canadian border to the Florida Keys who enjoy today's Ballantine beer. It's America's finest since 1840. Rocky Colavito leads off in the last of the 7th. Norm Cash on deck and Dick Brown to follow. Colavito flied to center and walked. Ford's pitch is swung on. A high pop to first. Cowan backing up, still backing up, and has it. 1 away. Norm Cash took a 3rd strike and flied to right. Up in the bullpen. The pitch is in there for a strike. The delivery is bunted foul to the left of the plate. Next pitch is swung on and bounced foul back to first base. Goes to the windup. In comes the pitch. Sidearm curve inside. A 1-2 count. Cash batting .362. Now Ford's next delivery. Fastball inside. 2-2. He's standing with his back to the plate, looking out the outfield, getting a couple of deep breaths. Now he turns around, walks out in front of the rubber, smooths out the dirt. Back up on the hill. Cash, meantime, has stepped out. Moves back in now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The windup by Whitey, and the pitch is high, ball 3, 3-2. Full count. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on it, missed. Strike 3. 10 strikeouts for Ford. Coming up now is Dick Brown. An infield hit and line to short into a double play. Nothing. New York, 7th inning. Ford's delivery. Fastball over. Strike one. Delivery swung on and hit to the box. Knocked down by Ford. Picked it up. Throws to Scowen. And the side's retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. 11 in a row retired by Whitey. And at the end of 7 innings of play, the Yankees 7 runs, 13 hits, 1 error, 8 men left on. The Tigers, no runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, and 3 men left on base. All the good things you want in beer, you'll find in Ballantine beer. A distinctive, sunny, mellow taste, and a refreshing combination of lightness and true lager flavor. So try the crisp refresher, Ballantine beer. Kansas City leads Los Angeles 3-1 into 2.5. Cleveland beats Baltimore 2-1. Second game hasn't started. Minnesota 3, Chicago 1 into 6.5. Boston, believe it or not, got 8 runs in the last half of the 9th inning to defeat Washington 13-12. Washington had them 12-5. Tagliarone hit a grand slammer, and as Joe Ripley likes to put down, a home run with 4 on. An 8-run rally in the last of the 9th. And the Red Sox win it 13-12. Boy, they must have had him jumping at Fenway. How about that? Pittsburgh beat St. Louis in the National League 5-3. Second game, Cards lead 1-0, end of 3. Cincinnati beat Philadelphia 7-2. Second game, Cincinnati leads 1-0, end of an inning and a half. Chicago, San Francisco scoreless at the end of an inning and a half. Milwaukee, Los Angeles, a later start. Bobby Richardson leads off in the 8th inning. Jerry Caselle's pitch is low, ball 1. 20 grand slams in the American League this year, and they had 27 all last year. Now the pitch. Swung on. A ground ball hits the short. George Thomas up with it. And a good arm throws on to first. In time. Down a close play. We pause for station identification.
1460 on your radio dial. This is WOKO, Albany, New York. For the best on radio, see the complete program guide in the Upstate Living section of your today's Times Union.
Cleet Boyer grounded to third in a double play. The sacrifice fly to right, popped out to short, and single to center, hitting .230. Caselle's delivery swung on, line by short into left field for a base hit. Colavito tossing it back in. Boyer singles to left with one away in the 8th, and up comes Roger Maris, who walked, had an infield hit, grounded to first, and popped to second, batting .239. Yankees 7, Tigers nothing, 8th inning. Here's the pitch, low, ball 1. Ball, no strikes. Gazelle delivers to Raj. Outside, ball 2. Hal Renniff loosening up for New York. In case Whitey needs any help. He's been pumping hard. Gazelle to the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on. There's a high drive to deep right. And Kaline is the barrier, but the ball is gone into the upper deck in right field for Roger Maris, 24th home run of the year. 52 and 53 runs batted in. Roger Maris clout is 24th home run of the season, greeted by Mickey Mantle at home plate, and the Yankees now lead 9-0. and Woodishik in the bullpen. 4 home runs in the game for New York. 2 for Blanchard, 1 for Skara, and 1 for Maris. The pitch to Mantle is low, ball 1. The pitch to Mantle. It's outside. Ball 2. Mixed single to right. Sacrifice fly to center. Grounded to first and fly to right center. 1 run batted in, hitting 300. Gazelle to the windup, and the 2-0 pitch. It's up high, ball 3. The paid attendance today is 44,459. 44,459 for a total of 147,712 that has seen this series a new Tiger record for a 3-game series. Here's the pitch, and it's low for ball 4. Gave Mantle nothing to look at, and Bob Sheffing comes out of the dugout now with Berra coming up. And I believe Hal Woodishik will be coming in. Jerry Cuseo worked from the 3rd inning with 1 out through the 8th inning with 1 out. So a total of 5 innings. Giving up 6 hits and 4 runs. Hal Woodishik coming in with Berra coming up. Who generally stops the Yankees. Tigers acquired his contract from the Senators. He got a good sinker pitch. This will be Woodishik's 10th appearance. He started 7 games. Has a record of 3-3. He beat the Yankees 2-1 April 30th and 3-2 on May the 16th. The 2 of his 3 wins have been against New York. Nothing Yankees. It's the 8th inning. Roger Maris has hit 21 home runs in his last 33 games. Records along those lines. 21 homers in 33 games. The only thing listed in the book, consecutive homers. Games, in other words, home runs hit in consecutive games. All right, Yogi Berra, 1 out, Mantle on first. Woodishik, the left-hander, pitches outside. Ball 1. Yogi swings and lifts a high pop into short left. George Thomas out, Colavito in. It's Thomas, the shortstop, making the catch. 1 away, 2 away. And up comes Phil Scarron, who homered, doubled, flied to right, flied to center. 46 pitch to the Moose bounces away from Dick Brown, but out in front of the plate, so there's no advance. Mantle remaining at first. Now the pitch. A throw over to first. Mantle gets back. Good move. I thought he was coming to the plate, and he fired it over to first. Mantle just did get back. Good thing he didn't cut his fingernails. He'd have been out. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit foul down the right field line, out of play. One ball, one strike. In the eighth inning, 2 in. Now the delivery. It's low. Ball bounced into the dirt. A 2-1 count on Skowron. One strike, 2 outs. Mantle leading away from first. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2, 2-2. Ready for the 2. Now the delivery. It's low. Bounced into the dirt. A 2-1 count on Skowron. Two balls, one strike, 2 outs. Mantle leading away from first. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2, 2-2. Ready for the 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Got him on a curve. Sides retired. For New York, 2 runs, 2 hits, no Tiger errors, 1 Yankee left on. At the end of 7.5 innings, New York 9, Detroit nothing. You know, there are a lot of good beers. No one would ever say there's only one, but this is what we will say. We think ours is the best. A lot of folks like it. Do you ever stop to think why you prefer one brand over others? Could be because you think one beer is lighter, because it has the flavor you want. If that's true, then you've got twice as much reason for switching to today's Ballantine beer. You see, Ballantine beer is light, refreshingly light as you like it. But of course, there's more. Ballantine has combined its lightness with all the crisp lager beer flavor you want. Refreshing lightness and crisp lager flavor. You get the best of both in the Crisp Professor Ballantine beer. So make it a point to ask the man for Ballantine the very next time you order beer. Your first swallow and each one to follow will tell you why more than 5 million glasses of Ballantine beer are enjoyed every day. Ballantine beer, the Crisp Professor, America's finest since 1840. In the last half of the 8th inning, George Thomas is first up for the Tigers. He replaced Chico Fernandez earlier in the game. Chico had muscle injury in his right leg. Burris the same. Beck is out. Several players on both clubs nursing injuries, but still playing. Thomas struck out in the fifth inning in his only time at bat. Right-hand hitter. Ford into the windup. In comes the pitch. Swung on and fouled back out of play. Strike one. Ozzie Virgil on deck. Next pitch is a changeup and the left side. Ball one, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. It's in there. Strike two. Got the inside corner. Terry Fox warming up for the Tigers. And with Hal Woodishick, the scheduled third batter in the inning, there may be a pinch hitter. The 1-2 delivery. It's in there. Called. Strike three. 11 strikeouts for Ford. 83 this season. Now Ozzie Virgil, who has struck out twice. In fact, if you were keeping score, the bottom third of the order has struck out every time. Here's the pitch. Virgil swings and sends a high drive to right field. Maris digging back over near the fence and hauls it in. Bubba Morton will come up and hit for Woodishick. Of Ford's 11 strikeouts were recorded against the bottom third of the order. This is the first time that the ball's been hit by anybody hitting 7th, 8th, or 9th. Morton batting 172. Ford into the windup, and the pitch is a little high, perhaps a little inside. Ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Next delivery is a little high. Ball two on a change of pace. No strikes. 9-0. New York gets the 8th inning. Ford's pitch is low. 3 balls, no strikes. Next delivery's in there. Strike one. The 3-1 delivery swung on, lined out into center field for a base hit. The third off Ford. And the first since the 4th inning. Now here's Jake Wood. Hit to the box, walked and struck out. To the runner. Throw to first base, and he's back. Another throw over to first, and he's back again. They had to come back in a hurry. We're going to have a runner for Morton. Pitcher Phil Regan will run for Morton. Ford's pitch to Wood is fouled off to the left of the plate. Strike one. No balls, 1 strike. Wood again to the stretch. And the pitch. It's inside. Ball 1-1-1. Ward again set. Here's the delivery. Jake Wood takes a high fastball. 2-1. Billy Bruton on deck. Whitey's beginning to tire a little bit. He pumped hard for the first 7 innings. And the pitch. Curve is fouled off out of play. A 2-2 count. Running for Bubba Morton on first. 2 outs in the 8th inning, 9-0 New York. Whitey ready. Here's the pitch, and Wood takes high. Ball 3, 3-2. Ralph Houck now stirring around a little bit. He's talking to Johnny Sane. May have somebody start to warm up. Whitey's obviously tiring. The stretch, Regan ready to go, and the 3-2 pitch is swung on and fouled back. Count remains 3-2. Luis Arroyo gets up. Again the stretch. There goes Regan. The pitch is swung on and fouled off again to the left of the plate. Count remains 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ford ready. And the pitch. It's swung on and grounded foul down the third baseline. Count remains 3-2. Once again, Ford sets and throws to first base. Regan's back. Ready once more, and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 12 strikeouts for Ford. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. At the end of 8 innings, Yankees 9 runs, 15 hits, 1 error. Tigers no runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. Elsewhere in the American League, Kansas City 3, Los Angeles 1 and a 3.5. Pass against Buren, relieved by James in the third. 1 game. Cleveland beat Baltimore 2-1. Perry beat Barber. Triandos homered for the Orioles. Second game, no score. Cleveland batting in the first inning. Fisher against Bell. Minnesota 3, Chicago 1 at the end of 8 innings. Shuto pitching for the Twins. McLeish relieved by Lown on the 8th for Chicago. Sobek homered in the 7th for Minnesota, playing a doubleheader. In a wild 9th inning, Washington scored 5 runs to go ahead of Boston 12-5. Only to have Boston come back with 8 to win it 13-12. Delac, Muffet, Wills the winner. Mathias for Washington. Sisler in the 9th, the loser. Katina also in relief. Long 1 on, Daly 1 on. Casby a grand slam in the top of the 9th for Washington. Last of the 9th, Budden homered. Pagliarone a grand slammer in the last of the 9th. First game of a doubleheader. In the National League, Pittsburgh beat St. Louis 5-3. Friend beat Simmons. Musial homering for the Cards. Leppert for Pittsburgh. Second game, 3-0 Cardinals, and the 4.5 innings. Jackson against Gibbons. James homered in the 4th with 1 on for St. Louis. Milwaukee, Los Angeles, a later start. Cincinnati beat Philadelphia 7-2. None in relief of Maloney in the second. The winner, Peresi the loser. Home runs, Post 2 on, and Priest for Cincinnati. Second game, the Reds lead 2-0. End of 3-0 in short. Chicago, San Francisco scoreless end of 2.5. Cardwell and Marichal. 9th inning, Johnny Blanchard takes the strike from Terry Fox, who has come in to do the pitching for the Tigers. making his 15th appearance. Record of 1 win, no losses. Now the pitch, and Blanchard takes it outside for a ball. John has had a fine day. He homered, grounded to second, singled, and homered. 3 for 4. Batting .282. Terry Fox, a right-hander, fourth Tiger pitcher. Into the windup and the pitch. Swung on. There is a high drive to right. Kaline going back right at the fence, and he's going to get that one. Blanchard almost at a circle. Kaline caught it at the fence. One away. Still warming up, and I think Earl Torgerson may hit for Ford, and Arroyo will work the ninth. Here's the Maestri. He's had 3 for 4. The pitch is swung on and foul back. Yep, here comes Torgy out. He'll hit for Ford. The pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 2, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Terry Fox to the windup, and the pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Earl Torgerson will bat for Whitey Ford. Delivers to Torgy, swings and fouls it back. Strike 1. Nine to nothing, New York. It's the 9th inning. Now the pitch. Swung on, a tap hit back to the box. They throw over to first base to Cash in time, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And at the end of 8 1/2 innings, Yankees 9, the Tigers nothing. Treat your thirst to Valentine, America's finest since 1840. Luis Arroyo coming on, who works the ninth. Ford in 8 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 walk, 12 strikeouts, no runs. Arroyo making his 24th appearance, a record of 2-2. Billy Bruton at bat. He hits a little tap on a screwball back to the box. Arroyo throws to Skowron, and there's 1 away. Kaline, line to left, single to left, and grounded to short. Arroyo's pitch swung on to high fly ball in the short left. The Maestri is out under it, makes the catch in front of Barrow. And they're 2 away. Vito swings, lets a high fly ball to left field. Berra is under it and makes the catch. And the side is retired. The game is over. The Yankees win it by a score of 9 to nothing. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. So the salvaged the final game of the series behind the brilliant pitching of Whitey Ford, where the Royal working tonight. Ford winning his 11th game. He has lost 2. The totals, the Yankees, 9 runs, 15 hits, 1 error, and 9 men left on base. The Tigers, no runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, and 4 men left on base. Whitey Ford, winning his 11th game, he's lost 2.